Today I'm going to make a vegan vegetable lasagna. I'm pretty much going to use just whatever veggies I have on hand right now. So I have some mushroom, probably about a cup and a half of baby bellas. I had 3 medium carrots chopped up, a medium onion, maybe a cup and a half of broccoli. In the fridge I had some corn and some black beans. I'm going to cut up an eggplant still. I don't have any more fresh peppers, sweet peppers, but I do have some frozen, so I'm going to throw that in. And I have some frozen cauliflower I will toss in there as well. And then I like to add some sun-dried tomatoes as far as the vegetable part of it. Once I get those all cooking, I will add in a little bit of minced garlic, some Italian seasoning. I do like a little spice to it, so we'll add some red pepper flake and then salt and pepper. And then I always buy the oven ready lasagna. It makes it a lot easier. You don't have to cook the noodles first. Then you're just going to need your favorite sauce. Not saying that that's my favorite. That's what we could find when we were out shopping. And then I do have ricotta that's I already made, which you could see that in a previous video. And then I'm just going to use avocado oil to saute the vegetables in. So I've got my pot already heated up here. So I'm just going to sprinkle in a little bit of oil. And then I will start putting the veggies that are on the tray here. Best to start with the onion, peppers, and carrots. They take a little bit longer. I had my scraper from home, it would be so much easier. Mixing that up. I want to cook this up till maybe 3 or 4 minutes before I add in anything else. The onions, really need to turn translucent. When it's all said and done. This is just chopped up sweet peppers.
From your mom's garden? Yes,
from my mom's garden. And then we'll just keep on stirring this up for a few minutes here before we add in the rest of the veggies. Now that these have been cooking for about 4 minutes or so, I'm going to go ahead and add in my broccoli, mushrooms, and eggplant. And you really can use just about any vegetable you like in here. You can't go wrong. Stir that up. I'm going to go ahead and add in a little bit of the salt and pepper right now. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in the cauliflower. I happen to have rice cauliflower on hand, so that's what I'm going to use. And then I did forget to mention, you will need some kind of mozzarella cheese that's vegan. So I'll just go ahead and continue cooking this. Probably, I would say another at least 5 or 6 minutes. And we'll see how that goes from there. I ended up putting a lid on here. It helped steam it and cook it a little bit faster. So it's been cooking about 7 or 8 minutes. I will go ahead and add in, I chopped up some of the sun-dried tomatoes. And at this time too, I will toss in the corn and the black beans. Now what I'm putting in here, it's way more than what I actually need for the filling, but I like to have extra. I just like put it over other things. We'll put it in like burritos later, or quesadillas, stuff like that. You could even put it over a potato. It's really yummy. If you don't have lasagna noodles on hand, but you want to make this, you can always do more of a lasagna bake, so you can use any kind of noodle that you have And then when it's all said and done, instead of layering like you would a lasagna, you would just go ahead and mix it all together and put it in the oven like that instead. I'm going to go ahead and put in about a tablespoon of garlic. Shake in some Italian seasoning. Take this lid off. It's probably about a teaspoon or so, maybe a teaspoon and a half. And then shake in some red pepper flakes, totally optional. If you don't like a little kick to it, you don't have to put that in there. And I'm just going to continue to stir this up here, put the lid back on. You just, at this point, need the corn and beans to kind of warm all the way through. Alright, the veggies are all cooked up. I was trying to think of what else I normally put in there that I usually have in the fridge. And the only other thing I could really think of is spinach is usually what I throw in there. I just don't have any on hand now. In the past I've put sweet potatoes in there as well. So just give you a couple more options. Since I'm using my microwave convection oven mix, I can only use a smaller 8x8 pan. If I was at home, I would be using the regular larger like 9x13. But this is what I have to work with here. So I will go ahead and start by putting some sauce in the bottom of the pan. You kind of want to just cover it. And just kind of make sure it's covered real good. Then I want to take the noodles. I'm going to have to break them a little bit to fit. I should have broke a little bit more off of there. Let's see how this works. They usually break much easier than that. And you just want to layer across here. See if I could put another one in. And then on there, I will add in some ricotta. So I will just, I don't want to get too much. Just kind of put a layer across. Then scoop in my veggies. I tend to do kind of a thick layer. They will continue to cook down a little bit more than what they already are. And then I'll just put a little bit of sauce over the top of it. If you tend to like a lot of sauce, then just put more on there. It's totally up to you. And I think I will sprinkle in a little bit. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason on how you need to do this. Just put a little bit in there. And then we'll just do another layer and keep on going until your pan is full. sauce. One more layer. Noodles. Push it down in there a little bit. Put a little bit more sauce over the top here. So I'll just finish the whole jar off. Then I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of water in the jar. You need a little bit of the extra moisture in here to kind of cook those noodles. There's sending not quite a cup in there maybe, but if you shake it up, you're going to get all your extra sauce out of here. We'll kind of pour this so it goes down in there. I probably won't use quite all of this because I have a smaller pan. And then I'm just gonna spread the sauce on the top. I'm going to cover this and put it in the oven. I guess I should have mentioned the oven is at 375. And we're going to bake this for about a half hour or so, covered with foil. When that comes out, then I'm going to take the foil off. I will sprinkle on some more of my mozzarella cheese, and then put it in for about maybe another 15 to 20 minutes. Just let that melt. That easy. My oven's up to temperature, so we're going to go ahead and put this in here. And then I'm going to set it for 30 minutes. And then I'll take the foil off the top and add my cheese and put it back in. This has been in there for half an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and carefully take the foil off. You can see that the noodles are soft. So I'm going to sprinkle this cheese on top. And I'm just going to stick it back in there for another at least 10 to 15 minutes. Let this melt. Vegan cheese doesn't melt quite the same. It's not going to quite brown up like regular cheese would, but it will be nice and creamy. So back in the oven it goes. Make sure it's in there good. Shut the door, and I'm going to go ahead and set it for 15 more minutes and let it melt. Alright, it was in here another 15 minutes, so we can go ahead and take it out. And then we just want to let it probably sit a good 10-15 minutes and cool a little bit. During that time, it'll thicken itself up. If you try to get it out of here right away, it's kind of hard to get it out. So I would just let it sit and cool, and then you could serve it up. Alright, it's all cooled off now, so I'm just going to take some Parmesan and sprinkle it over the top.